it says it'll take us 2 hours to get to the first bridge. Where we are meeting with a police escort, like Ohio. So I need one civilian escort because I'm longer than 90 feet. I'm 105, and they want me to have a police escort at restricted structures. And there's 2 bridges 40 miles away from here. Where one I have to be at 10 miles an hour, the only vehicle on the bridge, and the other bridge is 20 miles away. I have to do 20 miles an hour and again be the only vehicle on the bridge. And so after that the cop can leave, but I have to get cash. I have to pay him 164 bucks. And before we left, oh, and I spent an hour today on the boom removing the connectors. There was one connector that was sticking out. I thought I remove it, I'll be at 14.6, 14.5, and I did that. And you look from the side, the tallest point is the center of the boom, but then there was another connector on the side. And this guy shows up. I booked him yesterday through I know a company in Buffalo, and so I emailed them. I said, "You guys have anybody here? Because I'm not that far. You probably have some local guys."
Right here at this light.
517. So we're turning on 517, right?
Yes. See how tight that pole is right here on the right.
Wow, that's pretty tight. I'll have to go all the way to the left here.
Yes. Block anybody coming this way.
I forgot to turn on my that one is not the difficult. He says there'll be another one in the town where we're going. To join the US 30. He says there'll be a very sharp turn. Hey Scott, that one in before US 30, is that like this one or worse? So that one is even worse than this. This one was not very good.
Yes, sir. Because that one's in town, there's no grass or anything. It's curbs and sidewalk, you know.
But are there any posts on the sidewalk? Can I go on the sidewalk?
No, I don't think there is. I think you'd be able to. If there is, it'd be on that left side. But I don't believe that there's any poles there.
No, but that's why I need you, right? Because I'm over 90 feet long. Why would they send me over such sharp corners if they know that I'm long?
I don't know. The weight, I'm here because of your weight too. That's Ohio.
No, I I don't need pilot because of the weight. I need you because of the length, and then I need the police because of those 2 bridges. That's it.
If they're going to put a police on you, they're going to put a pilot on you in Ohio.
No, my permit, you saw the permit, right? The permit says police escort required at restricted bridges. That's one. And then it says, according to the, you know, Ohio supplement provisions, you might need to have a civilian escort. And I checked the provisions, and of course it says after 90 feet, I need 1 pilot. I'm not that heavy.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but in Ohio, they're going to put a civilian on you if you need a cop. That's just how they do it.
That's not what the permit said. If I was 89 feet long, I don't think I would need you. You think a cop would still insist on a civilian escort?
That's what they do. If you were shorter with that much weight, then you might not even get a permit for that.
No, basically what's happened with this guy, his name's Scott. Thelma's pilot cars. Right, so he has a pole, you know, that pole that I'm supposed to have, but I don't have it.
Here's your first railroad crossing.
Alright, let's see. Well, this doesn't look too bad. Like I'm at position 3, because there's still a lot of weight on the front. And actually, you know what? One thing I discovered is that after they made the Jeep longer, now my trailer sits lower. You know, I noticed this with last, what, I did 3 loads with the Jeep, right? So now I have to go higher on the ride height to keep the same gap between the trailer and the road. And I couldn't understand. I thought maybe because the loads are too heavy. Because yeah, the previous one was 115,000 pounds, right? But no, I'm pretty sure it's because of the. Just in
case you're wondering, yes, this is what it's going to be like the whole way to camp.
Okay, 25 miles an hour.
That's what I say. It's going to take us a while to get over there. These hills are not fun.
And so this guy, he was a bit anxious. He looked at the machine. He says, it seems awfully tall. Hey, cows. Hi, hi. And he says, the machine seems awfully tall. Would you mind if I check the height before we go? And I said, well, I don't have a problem with that. And so he gets that folding telescope style China-made device, but he doesn't have the horizontal section. I guess he took it off or he broke it off, I don't know. But he just he used a pen. He put a pen in the hole, and we measured. It was 15 feet. I said, wait, that cannot be right. I just spent an hour moving one connector from the top. Now it's sitting on the side, so it should be like, it was 1410 yesterday, before I moved this thing. So I thought I was at 14.5, 14.6. He says, no, you're at 15 feet 1 inch. Unbelievable. And so this machine, because it has this banana style boom, you know, it's very it's hard to tell which part is taller. Like, you think that the actual boom tall?
Yeah, anything coming at you in a six-wheeler.
Concerned about that boom being so close to the booster, you know, to the backs. But it's not the backs. There's like a metal part in there, like a rib. And I'm not that wide. I'm only 11.2. And so yeah, the moral of the story is I could not believe it. Turns out the boom, I asked the guy, you know, I went inside, the guys were still there. I said, guys, we need to move the boom again. And I said, I'm gonna take out that 6-inch piece, 6x6, and put like a 2-inch. I don't care. And when he got in the cab, again, they were so nice, you know, somebody else could say, hey, you off the property, you load it, it's your problem. But, you know, I didn't want to mess with it. They know these machines, they work with them all the time. And, wow, look at this. That's what he meant. He says, it'll take us 2 hours. I said, you kidding? 40 miles to 2 hours? And he says, well, you have a lot of weight. You will see all these hills in here. And this guy is from the, I forgot the name of the town, but that's where we're jumping on US 30. And he says, this is not a good route. So basically he says, we're not gonna make it.
They got a curfew too in Ohio, son of a bitch.
See, I skipped 4th. Now I'm in 3rd. Turns out that boom was not fully, the stick was not fully, there was like 2 feet that the stick could go up. But the problem is, if he starts putting that thing down, it hits the machine. The front of the point of the stick was hitting the machine. And you can, of course, you can fold it between the wheels. But for that to happen, you need to have a clear space in the front, and I have wheels in there, right? Wheels and stuff like that. So basically, the machine would have to be all the way to the truck, and then of course that's not good, because then maybe you solve the height issue, but now you overload the truck, so you're looking at another fine, right? At least. So anyway, I took out the 6-inch piece, I put in the small piece. And I said, please make sure the stick is as close as possible to the boom, to the arm. And we brought the tip, whereas before it was like this far from the machine. Now we brought it like this far. So we reduced the height from 15.1 to 14.10. 14.10, and the pilot says, well, that's still not good enough. He says, you'll have to change your permit, get a guy with a pole, because after 14.6 you need somebody. And I said, hold on, can you check the height in the middle? He checks the height, he says 14.3. I said, okay, so the only thing that's standing between 14.10 and 14.3 that is that connector there. And there was like a massive, like this tall connector holding hoses on the other side. Like I removed one, but there was this one closer to the cab. And so these guys were there. The guy who loaded me showed up as well, was just trying to help. And I said, guys, I'm sorry to be doing this to you, but would you mind taking this off? I know you have all these power tools, right? I can probably do it myself, but it'll take me like an hour. And the guy went inside, he got the little attaché case with all the sockets and stuff like that. Took him like 10 minutes. He took off that connector and he put the hoses right on top of the boom, because those connectors, they were just kind of like protecting the hoses, right? So the hose goes through and it's like massive hose. And so we checked the height. Guess what? 14.3. I was almost crying over there, I'm telling you. 14.3. Unbelievable. So now I'm not afraid to go on the bridges and stuff like that, and now I'm legal. I got the permit for 14.5. 14.5 overall height and 11.2 wide and 105 long.
18, clear, come at you.
Wow, this guy is going pretty close to the center line. Oh, and that's our first bridge. What is it? That's Highway 11. Okay. So this is 517. Ohio 517. And we're going southwest. And there's so many turning points, right? What do? I have a pilot. He knows the area, so I gave him a copy of the permit, so he knows the route. I'm just following him, right? And so what I put in here, I put Lake Station, Indiana, which is kind of like a general direction where I'm going towards Chicago. And I turn off the volume, because otherwise this thing will be recalculating the route every 2 miles, you know? Beautiful. Wow. And so yeah, thanks God for this guy, you know, that I really should get one of those poles, you know, because they're so much more accurate. And that's why I want automatic transmission. So 9:23. See, originally we were meeting with the cop at 10:30, and on advice from Scott, I emailed the lady at the post, state police, and I said, please don't kill me, but I don't think we'll make it. Like, my pilot says we'll need like 2 hours to get there. We're still at the shipper. Can we make it 11:30? And she just sent me a terse message. The trooper has been advised. And that's of course another reason to make everything legal, is because these troopers, before they escort you, they do inspection, right? They can double check the dimensions. Of course they cannot check the weight, but if this is a scale they can do that. But we're meeting the guy at an intersection there. He says there's room to park right before that first bridge where I'm supposed to do like 10 miles an hour. Did I get it? Missed it again. What the heck? I'm talking about the mailbox, but this is beautiful, beautiful country. If you're a farmer or a school kid, love the fall colors. Oh, it's Lisbon. Yeah, so that's what this guy says he's from. He's from Lisbon. Scott, are we gonna be passing any gas stations or ATM? I just need to get money for the cop.
Yeah, we will be.
Just let's stop there for a second, right? And I'll just run inside, get some cash.
Okay, you might have to park on the road. I don't know if there's anything you can get into.
And we're turning somewhere here, right?
Up here.
That's the turn you were talking about?
No. Okay, got a triaxle bucket here. We go up around this right-hand curve. Poles are super tight here.
Oh boy. Yeah, make sure nobody's coming on the left lane.
There's one coming at you right now. This is the left turn I'm talking about. Holes on the right here, you can't get off to the right side.
So why would they send a 105-foot long guy this way? Unbelievable.
I know, freaking Ohio for you. I was just talking to Roger, and the chances of us making it out of Ohio today are pretty much slim to zero. If that happens, we don't make it. He said he can do mileage for today. It'll be an overnight and a flat rate of 3 1/4 tomorrow.
How much tomorrow?
325 flat rate.
Okay.
And mileage for today. And then it'll be 70 for an overnight. I'll get this lady out of the way.
Wow. I'm like 10 feet away from the pole. So that's the power of steerable axles.
He's doing cash, right?
Yeah, actually this turn was better than the previous one.
That's good. I'm glad it was worked out.
You know, those I got two steerable axles, not just one, but the last two are steerable.
Tip for it. And there's a place here with an ATM right here on your right. There's a bank down here we can go to. Bottom of the hill here.
What if I stop here? Just run inside.
If you want to run into the ATM.
Scott, I'll stop here.
Okay.
All right, let me go get the money. Are we good? Well, we better apply the trailer brakes. You never know. We got out of Lisbon I got the money there for the car because the secretary said she was not sure about Canadian checks. And we started driving. Oh, and I checked when I got back, when I was walking back to the truck. I look at the booster, and of course, because the truck goes like this when you go over hills, it's like this much space, and there's what's hitting the top of the frame is the bolt. Like there's again those freaking hose rubbers that hold the hose, and there's a bolt there, like 2 bolts. Like, and I told this guy, I said, if we have a place to stop somewhere, but we couldn't find it, I just stopped and I dropped the booster by 1 hole. I'm gonna take those bolts out when we're waiting for the cop, because I think we'll have like 20-30 minutes before he shows up at 11:30. And also these this road, this 170, what is it, 172, had a few sharp, you know, tops on the hill. I saw smoke in the mirror, basically the front. I was driving very slow, but the front of the trailer was, you know, it's like this much from the road. And when you have a hill like this, see, the front was the front touched the pavement. So I told the guy, hey, hold on, stop, because there's no bridges here. So we stopped, and I know I'm 14.3, I'm allowed 14.5 on my permit, right? So I raised the front to the next hole, and I went in the back and I raised the rear from position 1 to position 3, which is recommended by Fontaine, because now the height doesn't seem to be an issue. But I dropped the booster, so now there's a bit more weight on the trailer, but there's nothing I can do. I really gotta take out those bolts. I hope they're not too tight, because I wanted to buy a power, you know, impact gun, but I'm running low on ammo, and good ones were like $200-300 Canadian, and I said forget it. I wanted to get it because I thought this machine will have the railing, right? But turns out no, it didn't have any protective railing in the very back. And the guys, the shipper, were super helpful, so they took off that side piece, right? And so I'm 11.2 wide, 13.5 now, probably because I went up. But if I take those 2 bolts out, those connectors for the hoses, they have a little like a railing system in there. So, and the bolts hold the connectors inside this rail, you know, like a little compartment. And so if I saw that if I loosen the bolts, I can just slide them, pull them out, and let them hang loose, and this way the bolts will be away from the, I think I just, second time he went on the shoulder like this. That can be dangerous. Don't drink and drive. But I'm so happy now. I'm so happy because I'm telling you, I could not sleep. I got up at 3 o'clock, then I got at 4, and then I figured, okay, that's it. I'm getting up at 6. I'm gonna climb on the boom, and it's still complete darkness, but there was lights in there. I'm gonna climb on the boom, and I'm gonna push that big connector sideways. I don't care. And so it was so difficult. It was so hard because those hoses, they're very strong and they're not flexible at all. Like super thick. Probably they're thick because there's a lot of pressure there, right? And so because of that, they don't move, you know. And so I had to use a crowbar, and then I even hooked up a chain. I hooked up a chain to this connector, to a couple of hoses there, and I went down and I tightened the chain with a binder, and I saw this thing started moving, and then I put some bungee cords on it, and so the height went down by 1 inch probably, right? And so because of this guy, because of his insistence that we don't knock down any bridges.
There's the stop sign up here.
Yeah, 10-4. And again, I want to thank the guys from the awesome guys from the at the shipper there in New Waterford. You know who you are. Thank you. Alexander, that's what it is. On the next turn should be US 43, but my GPS says Highway 30. No way, we're not going at Highway 30. Stop sign. Check this out. At least they didn't make me turn on a highway like this. Over here I would definitely take out the stop sign. Oh, look at this. A rare color, Blue International, with square headlights, like a dump truck. I wonder if it's for sale. I can use that to start a pilot business. Wow, I missed the mailbox again. What's wrong with me today? All right, I need more coffee. But I do like these, you know. I like traveling through countryside. Like I always say, you know, once you're on the freeway, you don't see anything. But of course, this is a crazy way to send an oversized load truck. But you heard on the radio, right? So chances are we're not gonna make it out of Ohio today, because it was, the permit said total distance was 300 miles. And at 25-30 miles an hour, at the average speed of 25-30 miles an hour, because of all these hills here and lights, you know, there's no, you need like, you would need 10-12 hours non-stop to do 300 miles, because they're not sending us. I think we'll be on the freeway briefly, but most is this.
Climbing the hill here with it.
And so they gave me a quote, 465 US, 465 for today. And he says, but today they're gonna charge me mileage. Hey Scott, I got a question about the rate. Yeah, so you said today is going to be by the mile, so it's not going to be 465, right? So it's going to be by the miles, and then tomorrow it's going to be, you said 350 fixed?
Today, you call ATs there. He's going to do today mileage, because normally 300 in 2 days, that would be 2 day rates. Yeah, 2 flat rates, but he'll do mileage today, just cut your break. An overnight 70, and then 325 for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And he charges what, $1.50 a mile, right?
155. I mean, when I talked to him about it, I gotta give him a call, you know, and you guys can discuss it. That's just what he told me.
No, it's okay. That sounds fair. So. Fair my ass. No, but it is fair. They're giving me a break because they could have charged me double rate because we agreed on 465, right? It's not their fault that I was not ready in the morning, that I had to reduce the height, and now we had to postpone the meeting with the cop. Check this out, like, could they make it a bit, you know, maybe more curly? But anyway, so let's forget about negative things, because you guys sometimes complain. You always complain. There's so many negative people on YouTube. Like, look at this. The weather's beautiful, right? Plus 18 Celsius. What is that? 20. So 10 is 50. 70. So roughly 70 F. Beautiful. I'm driving in my t-shirt. Don't have to use the air conditioning, and I love the colors. The colors are amazing, you know. I hope tonight, when I stop for the night, I'll have a chance to take some pictures. Like, honestly, I did not know that Ohio is so hilly.
Yeah, looks like we got an oversized coming at us.
Ten-4.
Yeah, he's wide. I don't know if it's shooting, you know, the topside trailer looks like. Coming over top of the hill.
To stop to let him go.
Copy.
No, honestly, I forgot that Ohio can be so hilly. This is like upstate New York.
Yeah, until you get over past pretty much Route 71, it's all like this.
Yeah, this is like exactly like, you know, Batavia, New York over there. They often send me when I'm crossing from Canada via Buffalo. They send me in all these roads, and it's like this. Now you see this? That's why I raised the trailer. Yeah, it was too low. Where the heck is this highway?
Yeah, I was up there, what, Tuesday. But Lewiston Bridge picked the guy up out of Ontario. McMullen Customs Transport.
Oh, Marlin, yeah, I saw the trucks. What, you going to Canada?
No, he came across that Lewiston Bridge there. I picked him up and we went to, we were going to South Carolina, but we couldn't get Virginia permits. They're screwing in New York right now. They take us out of there and run us east all the way to Pennsylvania to Route 99.
What, was he tall or wide or what?
He was just he was 99 feet, 10 inches long, only 9 feet, 9.5 wide, 13 and 11 tall. He was like 190,000.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those railroad track stabilizers. Those guys are always hauling around.
that's a good thing actually, that I reduced the height on the booster, because see, I'm climbing these hills, all the weight goes to the back, you know. It can I can overload the booster, because before I saw that the rear airbags were a bit shorter, meaning they had more weight than the trailer. So are we getting any close to that US 43?
What about it? Well, we still have probably another 20 miles. You know, what do you mean?
20 miles?
10 miles.
Oh, it cannot be 20 miles, because it was 40 miles from the shipper. Oh, fuck, we've been driving for half a day already. So yeah, today it'll be all Ohio, baby. It's already Stark County, so that's where my bridge is. I remember that.
Right now.
I remember that the bridge is. I feel like the crest, very sharp, of the hills. Okay, 183. Okay, this is 183, and we're still on 172. People are scared of this thing. It's okay, don't be afraid. You only die once. skipping gears and switching into low, bypassing high, because the truck just loses speed very fast. So now from 5 low, I'm going to 3. The truck started pulling better with the Defco, and especially after the ECM was updated. Check this out, Paris. What the heck? Are we going in circles? Or maybe this is already France. That's what it is. The previous Paris was Paris Stark County. Oh, wait a second. The sign says speed limit. Everything is in English. If this was France, they would probably use Russian. Limit скорости. Oh, and it wouldn't be miles, because that's miles. It would be in kilometers. Kilometry. No, this is definitely not France. West, you see, all English. Paris Israel Church. Paris Israel Church. So again, what do you guys think? So like there's two popular methods, right, for choosing a route. So for heavy haul load, when you're 105 long, 11.2 wide, 14.5 tall, and your gross weight is 173,000 pounds. So two methods. It's either darts, right? Like they put the map with all the roads on the wall, and then they throw darts, and they say, okay, like one dart lands on Highway 178. With lots of hills, so they're gonna be fun, they decided. And then yeah, that's so dot method, and then the other method is balls in a bowl. Well, they put kind of like lottery, you know, they use balls, and they write the highway number on them, and they put them in this big, you know, glass container, and they do like this, and then they say, okay, Sergei DRATCHEV, hold on, 178, 43, 62, and let him, let's make him go over the bridge so that he needs a cop. Yeah, those 2 weak bridges, we need him to go over these 2 weak bridges so he can pay $164 into the state coffers. And also we're gonna help out local pilot guys, so let's give him the roads where there's no chance he can complete the Ohio part of his trip in 1 day. So let's make sure that the roads are so slow that it takes him 2 days to get out of Ohio, so this way he'll have to pay the pilots extra, which will definitely help the local Ohio economy. It's already 10:30, but we should be okay for 11:30. So right behind you. Yeah, last thing I want to do is hit my pilot guy in the back. Okay, what do we got here? Osnaburg. It's getting hot. Oh, donkeys, goats. А я еду за туманом, за деньгами едут только дураки. Now this is a different version of the song you all guys know, which translates as I'm chasing the fog, I'm chasing the nature. Like I'm trying to find good spot, because only fools chase money. That's my deep thought for the day, which actually is partially true, you know. If you just chase money, like by doing something, let's say, you know, you chose your job just because of the money, you know, that's not, I don't think that's the proper, you know, approach. I think instead we should all be doing what we love doing. Like you choose something because you love doing it. And they said, I remember doing a couple of career tests, and they were saying choose a job that you would do even if there was no pay. That's how you should choose a perfect job. Like, what would you love to do if people didn't pay you And then the second qualifying question was, what would you do if you had $1 million in the bank? When I asked my Chinese friend about this, he says, what would I do if I had $1 million? I would not do anything. I would travel. And that's not a typical answer, right? I said, well, I don't know about you, but first of all, $1 million is not that much nowadays, but also, even if it was $10 million, I don't think I could sit at home and do nothing, you know? I would always have, me personally, I would always have some kind of a business. Like, I love doing something where it can be just me with no employees. Like, you see, trucking fits the bill. I use contractors like this pilot guy, right? Or brokers, but it's just me. I'm the boss.
From 1-lane road ahead.
Sorry, what's that?
1-lane road ahead. We have construction sign.
Oh, 1 lane, okay. And so yeah, so that's what that's why I think chasing the money is not a good idea. Because if you do something that you love, then sooner or later money will follow. And case in point, for me, YouTube. I love photography. I like videos. I don't know, we all want to be movie stars probably, right? When we were kids, I wanted to be a movie star, I wanted to be a director, I wanted to be anchor, you know, like a news anchor. I remember that. And then all of a sudden I buy this little flimsy camera.
And if that's all it was or not, with us boys working there or not.
I buy that flimsy camera, I forgot the name, that HD something that you hold like this, right? And that was back in 2008. And YouTube came about. They're like, wait a second, what a great idea, you know? I had no clue that there would be any money involved in this. I was just doing it because it's a hobby. It's a hobby. It helps me relax. I love doing it. I love doing these videos for you guys, even like now, 12 years later, when I have almost probably what, I don't know, 1,300 videos on my channel. But then they started paying me, right? They sent me an email. They say, hey, Mr.
Big truck coming at you.
This is Mr. DRATCHEV. Would you like to be an advertising partner? And I said, what does that mean? And they said, well, we're gonna pay you a couple of bucks when people put ads on your videos. And I remember when I got $300 one month, I was really excited. And so I started doing this because I loved it, right? Still love it. And then all of a sudden there was a couple of dollars at the end of the tunnel, you know? So that's what I mean. So it's I think it's a good idea to choose the job by what you like doing, and if you're good enough at that, you'll be making money. All right, where the heck is that stupid 43? I see we're coming to US 30 again.